Last time in class, we went over the rules for exponents, but we just went over 3 of them: the product rule, the power rule, and the power of a product rule. And today I want to do some practice problems. If you're in my class, these 10 problems need to be in your notebook. I want to show you how the rules work real fast. I mean, how they make your work go faster, but also how to do it if you don't remember what the rule is. So for this one, this is the product rule, because we are multiplying 2 terms and nothing is raised to an external power or anything like that. So compared to number 2, where you have 1 term raised to a power, that's not happening here. We're just multiplying straight across. So if I were going to do this in my head and do it really fast, my answer would be 2 times 4, 8, x to the 4th power times x to the 3rd power would be x to the 4 plus 3, so that would be x to the 7th. Now, you don't have to use the shortcuts. You don't have to have the rules memorized if you know how to expand. You just rewrite all the terms and rearrange them. I have 2 times 4, and then there is an x to the 4th times an x cubed. Now from here, you can even expand this out a little bit more. You have that 2 times 4, and then I have 4 x's multiplied together here, and I have 3 x's multiplied together here. And if you do that, you can count up and see what it's going to be. 2 times 4 is 8 still, but 1, 2, 3, 4, x to the 4th, 1, 2, 3, x cubed, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, x to the 7th total. I'm not going to always expand like that, but you have 2 ways you can do these problems. Either way is fine with me. All right, the second one, this is the power rule. When you take something that has an exponent and you raise it to a power, you multiply the exponents. So I'm just going to do this one straight out. That answer is x to the 2 times 3 sixths. All right, now number 3. Number 3 is very much like number 1, so I'm going to do it the same way. Multiply the numbers together first. 3 times 4, that is 12. Then do the y's. I have y squared times y cubed. The rule says that if you have 2 things that have the same base but different exponents, you add the exponents. So that's going to be y to the 5th. If you needed to expand that, then it would look a little something like this. You would have 3 times 4, and then I have 2 y's multiplied together, and then I have 3 more y's right here. 1, 2, 3. This is all being multiplied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, y to the 5th. Back over to the power side here, but this one is a little bit different. I mean, there's not just one thing inside the parentheses, there's also a number. So they have a rule for that, but it's kind of the last rule just applied differently. If you're taking anything inside parentheses and everything in the parentheses is being raised to a power, then everything inside there gets powered up. The whole team gets the power. So the x would get that exponent, and the y would also get that exponent. That is the rule. So here, when we do it using the shortcut, it's the same thing as far as I'm going to raise everything to that exponent. So writing it out, the 3 gets squared too. And a lot of people forget that part. So the 3 is going to get squared, and the x to the 4th is also going to get squared. Simplifying this, we get the final answer, 3 squared. This is not 3 times 2, guys. This is 3 times 3. So that is 9. and then you power up by multiplying. X to the 4 times 2 is 8. It's important that you compare these two problems because people get these two rules mixed up, which is why I'm doing them side by side, so you can see over and over and over again how they're a little bit different. Sometimes we add the exponents, and sometimes we are going to end up doing some multiplication of the exponents. You don't have to know everything before you start. Just look at each problem one at a time. I'll do the expansion in a second. I just want to demonstrate how fast this is if you understand the rules. We're going to multiply the numbers together first. These aren't exponents. These are just straight up coefficients. They're just numbers. 4 times 5 is 20. Then we look at the x's. I have an x squared here and 1x there. If you don't see an exponent, the thing is still there, so the exponent is 1. So there's 2 x's, x times another x. That makes 3 x's, so this is x cubed. Now we look at the y's. This guy doesn't have any y in it, and this one just has y squared, so we just copy that one down. That is your final answer, 20x cubed y squared. What I did is I took 4 times 5, and then I have x squared, that is 2 x's, and then over here I have another x, so that's a third one, and then I have 2 y's, because that's y squared. When you write those as new exponents now, you see you got x cubed because there's 3 of them, and y squared because there's 2 of them. All right, number 6. This is, we're powering up. Everything in all the members of the team get the power up. So I'm going to write them out with the power up. 3 also gets powered up to the 3rd power. X squared, I'm looking at each one separately. X squared now gets powered up to 3. Looking at each one separately, covering up the others, I have y squared getting powered up to the 3rd power. And then we simplify each one of those. If you look at this, it's a little bit like distributive property. The 3 exponent is going on everything on the inside. You can think of it that way. 3 cubed is not 9. It's not 3 squared. It's not 3. It's 3 times. It's not 3 times 3. It's not that. It's 3 times 3 times 3. It's a little confusing. This is how many times, an exponent is how many times you're multiplying times itself. So 3 cubed is really 3 times 3 times 3. Watch this. This is a dumb human mistake. We all make it because our eyeballs want to just multiply the 2 3's together. This is x to the, now we are multiplying exponents. You don't multiply bases times exponents, but here we're going to multiply, we have x squared to the 3rd power. That's this rule. We are not multiplying times the base, we're multiplying times the exponents. So that's 2 times 3, that's 6. And this would also be y to the 6. The last thing to do is to finish out 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So our final answer is 27, x to the 6, y to the 6th. If you're in my class, be pausing this video, please, because I want you trying these. I don't want you just copying what I do. You don't get better at math by watching me do math. You have to actually try. That's like me going to the gym and lifting and you thinking you're going to get stronger. It doesn't work like that. You have to do it yourself. All right, here we go. You can rearrange the terms if you'd like, or you can just go ahead and do it in your head. I have a 2 and there's no other coefficients to multiply by, so my answer will have a 2 in it. Here's an x here and an x there. That means 2 x's will be multiplied together. That's x squared. And a y here and a y there, and that's y squared. This is as much work as I'm requiring to see. I'm assuming you'll know the shortcuts if I don't see a lot of work. But if you forget the shortcuts, expand. Or in this case, you're just going to rearrange. There's a 2. Nope, I was using blue for that. Okay, there's my 2. The x's, there's 2 of them if I write them right next to each other, and there's 2 y's if I write them right next to each other. Just rearrange all the terms and then condense it back down to something with exponents. Number 8, this is a power up. So the x to the 4th gets powered up to the 2nd power, and the y cubed gets powered up to the 2nd power. So our final answer is going to be x to the 8th, y to the 6th. And you can expand this out. You'd end up writing a lot. You'd end up, by the time you're done, there'd be 8 x's in a row and 6 y's in a row. All right, number 9. This one in class actually confused people because it's kind of simple looking, but if you rearrange all the terms, this is what you have. You have 1a here, and I have 3 a's on that one. 1, 2, 3. I have 1b on this term being multiplied times that b, so there's 2 there. So our final answer is a to the 4th b squared. And number 10. Everything's getting powered up. This isn't the hardest problem on the page. This was kind of a little bit of a cool down, but everything is being powered up. The 2 gets the 3rd power. The x gets the 3rd power. And the y gets the 3rd power. Everything powering up. And the only thing that's left to do is take 2 times 2 times 2. And that is 4 times 2, that's 8. X cubed, y cubed, and that is the final answer. Right, if you missed class, make sure your notes are accurate. Also, if you missed class, we had a little booklet that we did that had all these power rules on it. You got to make sure you have that. I can't put that on the video because somebody else made that booklet. If you are not in my class and you want to find some more algebra videos or follow along with my algebra class, click into this playlist. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.